That's a good question. It's a question that it's something that you really need to be conscious of, especially I find for myself, who's probably that bit fast twitch fibre nature, that you need to train really smart and not feel fatigued, because the nature of the beast at the moment is that it's just one thing after another. After that first original block, if you're lucky enough to be selected in November, you have a hefty enough month, and then you go straight into one league game, double Europe, three interpros, double Europe, and then before you know it, you're kind of middle January, and then there's a Six Nations kind of popping its head up. So I think it's not as much so for there's a bit of player input, but there's also, that's why we've got S&C guys there. That's why we've got physios that are sitting in meetings with coaches and actually discuss these things. And there's a lot of thought put into it now. You know, there's a great player management system in Ireland, and that's a big part of why people stay here, because you're not kind of thrown out for 35 games a year. There's a lot of thought put into it. We're in a position where there's a huge number of guys in squads who are competitive, so they can at any time, if there's a down week, there's another guy who comes in, he is a stormer, and you know that you have to come in and play well. So it's just the benefit of the Irish system.
And I suppose during that international break, Munster picked up some valuable Pro 14 points. That's testament to just what you said there with that squad depth and the fact that a lot of academy guys are coming through. Lots of raw talent in that Munster panel.
Yeah, massively. I think if you look back on the previous years gone by, teams that are coming first in the league are picking up points in those blocks. So in November during the Six Nations, and that's a testament to the full squad. And it's just whenever there's a competitive squad there, as I said just there, guys who are the perceived starters are playing, and then if one of them gets injured or there's a break or whatever, the next guy in has been foaming them out to be involved in these games while there's another fella in front of him. So it just drags performance up and up, and if the guy who's coming in is putting his hand up for the jersey, then the guy who's coming back from international rugby knows that there's pressure on already before we even get back in the door. So there's no kind of resting on your laurels and coming back in, and you know that you're coming in to compete with guys who are extremely good and will be pushing you kind of provincially and then internationally. Oh, massive. Working with Joe he's different than any other coach. The level of detail that he goes into, as you guys are well aware of, from us all saying it, is just second to none. He's got his own specific style, and to play under him is you have to realize what that style is and fit in first is probably the key thing. Fit into the way the game is played, fit into what you need to do, say as a winger or as a fullback, what is expected of me on a kind of going around the pitch, rucking, whatever, it's high ball, it's kind of being consistent across the board. And then once you do that, you can try and stamp your own mark on games. So there's a fine balance, but he's been incredible, and we've got him for another kind of 10-11 months, so we'll enjoy that hopefully while we can.